dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life goes lemons, just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me.
The first half of the season is in the books, and tonight we begin the second half of the season at the northernlymost track that we're going to go to on this season. It is round number 9 at the Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park in Thompson, Connecticut, for round number 9 of the Super Late Model AI Series right here on ESBN. Good evening, everybody. My name is Frank Marchese. Thank you very much for making us a part of your evening. Alongside me, as always, my broadcast partner, Tony Trapasso. Tony, a lot of great racing last week, a lot of single-file racing last week at Lucas Oil with how tight the line was. Here, it's looking like it's going to be the same thing. We're seeing a little bit of side-by-side racing in practice, but tonight it looks like emphasis, once again, is going to be on pit strategy to try to get you in position to win the race.
It absolutely is, and one of the most difficult pit roads we're going to deal with all season is here at Thompson. The pit entry isn't too bad, but coming out of the pits, you really have to tiptoe on that narrow strip that they give you for the pit out lane.
It's a very tight turn as well. It doesn't carry along with the radius of turns 1 and 2. It's quite an abrupt corner. Think of maybe the pit exit at Laguna Seca, and it drops you out in the middle of the back straightaway. So a very tricky pit road that these guys are going to have to negotiate tonight. We'll take a look now at the point standings coming into tonight's race. Corey Heim and Toni Breidinger, the two Venturini Motorsports drivers, currently sitting 1 and 2 on the season. Heim, after his first win last week, now with a 16-point lead. It's the biggest points lead we've had all season long. Walt Klaus still there. Tanner Reef falling down the order. So is Jake Drew. Venturini very hot to end the first half. Can they keep this momentum moving forward into the second half of the season?
Well, that has yet to be determined whether or not that's going to happen. But the biggest mover in the points, you can see it right there in 14th. Andy Allen jumped 9 spots last week. But that's still a very tight battle going on towards the bottom end of the top 20.
Yeah, but Andy Allen is starting to have a lot better runs over the course of this midway part of the season. It took him a minute to get his sea legs under him, so to speak, but he is now a contender and has been over these last couple of weeks. We'll take a look at the racetrack now. There you see the man who currently is the fastest on track right now, and 1:30 left in the practice session. That is, go figure, the 99 of Cole Moore. He has been incredibly quick all season long in that McAnally machine. Single car runs, only has 1 win to his credit this season, though.
I mean, you take a look at your top 5 right now, and it's pretty much the usual suspects up there. You've got Moore, you've got Clow, you've got Drew, Traves. You know, the top 5 as they currently sit in the hot lap session. Not a big surprise. It really isn't. What is a little bit of a surprise, though, is the fact that Corey Heim is in 10th right now, and this track really, it doesn't normally fit his driving style.
No, and again, it's part of the reason why it was so good that he got the win last week. And another thing that we've always seen here in these practice sessions, it's very difficult to get a clean lap in here. So we're seeing people like Sean Woodside, currently 17th quickest in this practice session. Who knows? He could put it on pole tonight.
Very much could. Never bet against Sean Woodside to start in the top 5. That's the easiest way to lose money in a wager. But, you take a look at the rest of these guys. Notable is Randy Mcdonald, as this is pretty much going to be his home track, as he's just up the road, just on the other side of the Massachusetts border.
Taking a look, and we will be watching Eddie McDonald over the course of this race. He's been another one of those guys that has really been marching his way forward over the course of these last couple of weeks. Had that absolutely mare of a race at North Wilkesboro, and ever since then he started to turn it around. So with the practice session over, we are going to tick over into qualifying here in the not-so-distant future. As a matter of fact, we're going to do it right this very second, as there you get a good look at that pit exit, a very tight pit exit around here.
And watch McDonald coming out of this thing. That is not the easiest pit exit to get out of.
Well, narrow, tight. It is not one of the easier pit exits, as Tony has alluded to already. We'll take a look now. We'll keep watching Eddie McDonald here as he works on his first lap of 2. Trevor Huddleston naturally will be the first one to set a time.
Isn't he always?
Yes, he is. Here he comes through 3 and 4 right now. Huddleston. Cole Moore to the top. Corey Heim, as we had mentioned, in second. Now it's Mark Wirtz, and the 55 goes up to P1.
That's a very strong run out of the 55. They've been due all season for a good run, and they've just been mired, deep in the fields in the early going, and, they haven't been able to really climb and show what that team is capable of. So if they can start up in the front today, look for the 55 to lead a good majority of this race.
He did have the win at Wilkesboro, and he will get pole, as Derek Kraus also done with his lap times. Gio Selzy crossing the line. He will go 23rd. Jake Drew there as well. He will go 20th quickest. So, and that is it. Our lightning round of qualifying has come to a close. And with that, we will now go to the starting grid here for today's race. In just a moment, once the session flips on over as we see Jake Drew park it. And now we will head to the starting grid for tonight's race. On pole, his first pole of the season, Mark Wirtz with an 18.983. Sets fastest time. Derek Kraus will start in P number 2 on the front row. Dominic Lopez and Tanner Reef will make up row number 2 with Blaine Roca and Colby Howard in row number 3. Sean Woodside and Cole Moore make up row number 4. Andy Allen, we spoke about him in pre-race, and Parker Traves will make up row number 5. John Moore and Eddie Mcdonald in row number 6. Row 7 goes to Walt Clow and Carson Quapple.
Derek Griffin and Corey Heim going to roll off in row number 8. Row 9 is going to see Wayne Stokes and Sammy Smith. Josh Berry and Jake Drew making up row number 10, with row 11 going to Jeremy Doss and Austin Herzog. Gio Selzy and Toni Breidinger are going to roll it off in row number 12, with row 13 going to Trevor Huddleston and Ty Majeski. Austin Maynard starting shotgun on the field in 27th.
Yes, he will, and that will be the starting lineup that kicks us off into the second half of this season. Weather conditions here tonight, just past 8 p.m. in sim time on this day, so it will switch over into night. There are lights here at Thompson, so we will be switching over into the night. And this is going to be the last night race for quite some time. We got the next 3 races going to take place in the afternoon, or at least in twilight. Nashville Fairgrounds will be the next night race of the season. 9-mile-an-hour winds blowing towards the west, 72-degree ambient temperature, 75-degree track temperature, so nice and cool air, nice and cool track. There's going to be grip. They're going to be fast.
It is at that, and, you know, with the 55 starting as far forward as he is, the last time he started that far forward, he actually won the race. So, you know, we're going to see if he's going to become the second driver or first driver this season to break the curse of the pole and win from starting quick time.
Yep, we have not had a single driver yet. Actually, you know what? No, we take it back. Derek Kraus won at Langley from the pole, the one and only driver who has won from pole this season. That was a couple of rounds ago, again at Langley. And Tony, a night here. There we go. A night where it's going to be, again, a very closely contested race. This track, it does look wide. There is some banking to this place, but we saw during the practice session with Austin Herzog getting put into the wall, it's going to be kind of a tricky night for these guys if they want to try to make passes around here.
You're pretty much going to have to scout the pass and set it up about 2 to 3 laps before you're going to make the move. And when you do make the move, you've got to make it with aggression.
Yep, absolutely.
Because this track, if you get caught on the outside on corner exit, you're probably going to eat concrete.
Yep, there is certainly going to be a wall with your name on it. Coming up here on the eSports Broadcasting Network, let me fix that there really quick. Coming up tomorrow will be the ISNF Cup Series. They will be at the LA Coliseum. It'll be the first of 3 preseason races that will be broadcasted on the network for that series before the season actually kicks off. Then it will be Sunday Night NASCAR from New Hampshire, 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time start on Sunday night. On Monday night will be the CleanRacing.net Truck Series. They will run round number 3 from New Hampshire after a great race at the Nashville Superspeedway last week. That will also be an 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time start. After that, the CleanRacing.net Truck Series will after that, it'll be the Night Shift Racing League on Tuesday morning, running their season finale from the Charlotte Motor Speedway, 11:50 a.m. Eastern Time. We will crown a champion in the Night Shift Racing League coming up this Tuesday morning. The AARL Cup Series returns to action coming up on Tuesday as well, 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time start from Daytona. Also from Daytona, a series starter. We were expecting the Rick Motec Cup Series to start last week. They are, in fact, starting this week, so they'll be running their season opener at Daytona coming up this week. That will be an 8:40 p.m. Eastern Time start. And then the Western States Racing League, we start the day at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We will end the day at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Round number 3 of the Western States Racing League will be at Charlotte, a 10:05 p.m. Eastern Time start. So 4 flipping races we've got to go through on Tuesday. It's going to be one busy day here.
It absolutely is. It'll be like Memorial Day weekend for race fans here on the eSports Broadcasting Network, and we are proud to bring you every moment of action.
Absolutely. As these guys get set on their final pace lap, Tony, it's going to be tight. It's going to be crucial on this restart to get out and get ahead. You want to be clear of the carnage before it happens.
Very much so. As the field works its way down the back straightaway, we're getting ready to turn them loose. And this is where it gets fun, Frank, because it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab some clam chowder because it's time to get it on in New England. Race fans, it's showtime!
Great jump for Mark Wirtz out in front of the field. Derek Kraus still hanging it out side by side, though, and Kraus gets one heck of a slingshot and goes to the race lead coming out of turn 1.
Good grief. He was like shot out of a cannon there. Here comes the 81 on the top side, too. That's something we got a problem.
That's Andy Allen in the 22. Mounted the car next to him, but somehow keeps it straight. A huge logjam on the outside of turn 1. Parker Traves, the one at the front of it, and the caution will fly.
Oy. That was ugly with a capital UG.
It was Parker Traves in the 60 that really caught the worst of it, and everyone behind him just sort of funneled in. And that's exactly what we were talking about, Tony, pre-race. You have to get out ahead because coming out of these corners side by side is not a good day.
That's basically suicide, especially if you're on the top side. But we did see a couple cars catch some air in that incident. Do we have footage of it?
Yes, we absolutely do. We'll be taking a look at it here right now as it started off in a big way with Andy Allen, and we'll go to him right now. There's Allen already on the side. That's John Moore. And Parker Traves has already had his issue and then just pulls to a stop after completely log jamming up that top lane. Try to see from...
Like Traves may have caught the wall on corner exit.
Try to see from Parker's view here. Now he's just, whatever happened has already happened to him. Let's go back a little bit further, shall we?
Sounds like a grand idea.
So here's, oh no, he's already gone. And then that's what seals the deal for the caution. So first caution coming out on lap number 2 here of this race. No one coming down pit road to repair damage other than Derek Kraus, who gives up the race lead to come down to pit.
Interesting. Looks like Drew may have come down as well. So those two guys started way further forward than they're sitting right now.
Now Drew, from what I'm seeing, Drew stayed out. It's Tanner Reef in the 9 that's up there.
Okay.
There's Tanner.
Yeah, those orange and blue Fords start to just blend together after a while.
Especially when the only difference in the number is it's literally the same thing, just upside down.
Yeah.
So we are going to be coming to one lap to go here before we go back to green flag racing right now. Lights are out on the Porsche pace car. And if you're wondering, yes, that's what we spent the budget on this series.
Absolutely.
Was the Porsche.
None of the drivers are getting paid, so we bought a Porsche.
Yeah, we got the Porsche.
Good grief.
So side by side, doubling up yet again. 26 cars now will take this restart. Parker Traves still in pit road. Pace car is down. Mark Wirtz is away. Let's see if he gets a better run this time. He's got the lead. We're back to green.
Grief going to send it on the outside just like Kraus did earlier. As there you go. That seems to be the line coming through 1 to 2. You want to be up on that second groove, as these guys are just flat getting it right now, still side by side through most of the field.
There is some form of progressive banking here through these corners, so the outside does give you a little bit more of a slingshot. Eddie Mcdonald way down on the bottom as the 50 of Trevor Huddleston catches the fence coming out of turn 2. Doesn't appear to be too bad, though.
This door banged the 35 coming down the back chute, but you can see that repaved section. You want to be just straddling the hash marks that are in that section of the corner, and you can really see it right there with the 20. That's about where you want to be. Oh, baby, hang on to her.
It's the 75 of Doss stuck on the outside. Ty Majeski in the middle. Trevor Huddleston on the bottom. Now insert the 17 in the middle. It's a very treacherous place to go 3 wide at this.
ZFG, I believe, is the phrase we're looking for. As
on board with Doss.
Doss definitely had a Code Brown moment there a couple laps ago, but you can see him settling in. And where Majeski's running, that is not going to give you any grip, especially on corner exit.
Majeski's going to the pits.
Interesting.
Ty Majeski bails out and heads to pit road. So he must have incurred some damage in that little bit of contact, as there goes the field around him. Tanner Reef leading Blaine Roca, Mark Wirtz, Dominic Lopez, who's had a couple of great runs, just has not been able to pull a finish together. And as we had mentioned, we highlighted him during practice here. Sean Woodside in the top 5.
Big shocker. But yeah, no, this is a track that you would expect to see guys like Tanner Reef and guys.
That was Josh Berry in the wall.
Yes, it was.
Corey Heim has also come down pit road, probably from an incident very similar to what we just saw with the 8 of Josh Berry.
Oh, they were banging fenders pretty good, and he may have started to cut a tire down. Because these are still sheet metal bodies on these cars. These aren't the composite bodies like you're seeing in the Gen 6 car, or the next gen car that they're currently running in NASCAR's top division. These are sheet metal. I mean, it's a plastic nose and a plastic tail, but the rest of the body is sheet metal, and it'll very easily cut a tire down.
Josh Berry has come down pit road as we had anticipated him doing, as Trevor Huddleston continues to work his way up the field. Jake Drew battling with the second place runner in points right now, Toni Breidinger. She has had good.
Just how much of a better drive she can get working that higher lane. It's not something you would really expect because, in the open wheel modified division, you're not where Breidinger is pretty much the line, and it's a freight train around this place. But with these cars having fenders, you can kind of lean on somebody a little more with the full fenders as opposed to the open wheel modifieds.
Off the back of Breidinger right now, just so you can kind of get a picture of the lay of the land here as far as the track is concerned. See the bumps, you can see the banking a little bit better here riding off the back of the number 25. Not missing anything up at the front of the field. Right now it is still Tanner Reef, Blaine Roca, Mark Wirtz, Dominic Lopez, Colby Howard currently running in the 6th position, the number 81. This is one of the better runs we've seen from him this season, although we are still very much so in the early going of this race. This is really a solid run for him.
It very much is, and especially with as young as he is, there's not a track like this down in South Carolina. He's got to come up to the New England area to experience anything similar to Thompson, and he's doing quite well, being as he's only 20 years old.
Absolutely. Driving that number 81. Nolan's Roofing number 81 is Wayne Stokes, currently sits behind Derek Griffith. These two have moved forward quite nicely. +8 for Griffith, +9 for Stokes, as we're starting to really get single filed out here and starting to get strung out with that as well. There is Andy Allen. Surprised with Andy Allen climbing on the side of the 27 of John Moore. Really has not affected his drive all that much. He's still where he started, up in 9th place.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a lot of damage on the double deuce. So, he's taking advantage of getting that spot from Moore, but Moore is really keeping him in check right now.
There's Cole Moore keeping him in check. There's Gio Selzy in the 16. Carson Quapple there as well. We had mentioned during the pre-race that Austin Herzog had an incident during the practice session in which he was squished into the turn 4 wall. He has recovered nicely, running in 14th position, +8 from where he started. Now the 20 of Corey Heim, remember, has gone down pit road. Austin Maynard in the 29. He is the next driver for position on him. Currently running in 15th between himself and Selzy, +12 on the race thus far, the biggest movers.
But if we can go back to the 27, you can see that the major damage that's on the left side of that car. That entire left front fender is caved right in.
Yeah, the left front nose, you can kind of see it there from this shot.
Yeah, you can definitely see the crinkle.
And that's... clean air is certainly what is going to help John Moore, and Moore needs a very good race this week because he has not had a good run of luck at all this season. The 59-year-old out of Granite Bay, California. He's currently sitting stone dead last in the points, and that is where he has been pretty much the entirety of this season. So really would like to see a good run out of the 27 today.
He has had some flashes of brilliance earlier this season, but that team has just not been able to put a full race together yet.
Corey Heim looking to try to make a little bit of a move on Austin Herzog. Up at the front, Tanner Reef continues to run away from the field. Mark Wirtz has now overtaken Blaine Roca for the 2nd position. We'll take a look and see how that pass came to be. This is a couple of laps ago. Coming through. Oop, there we go. It helps if I got on the right camera. There it is. There's Wirtz getting to the inside of Roca. Roca able to take it back, coming off of turn 4, but going through 1 and 2. It would appear the 55 will take it. And that is
pinched him up on corner exit.
That's one of the ways to do it around here, certainly, and especially with that opening in the fence. And that's one of these things with these smaller racetracks. There are openings in the fence at a couple of awkward spots. That certainly is one of them, coming off at turn 2. Just past the start-finish line, there's an interesting opening there as well.
Well, where the haulers park is on the outside of turns 1 and 2. So the gate on the going into 1 is where you exit the track. The gate on the exit of 2 is where you enter the track from the haulers. And believe me, you don't want to hit either one of those because you will shear the right side of your car clean off.
Think back to Michael Waltrip at Bristol.
Pretty much, yeah.
So Mark Wirtz trying to get away from Blaine Roca. Dominic Lopez holding station as well. So is Sean Woodside. Now, this is one of the shorter racetracks that we have been to this season. It's only 150 laps here this week. We've seen a multitude of strategies between two-tire stop, four-tire stop, not two-tire, one stop and two stops here. Could this be one of those races where we see a two-stop come into play the way we did at Lucas Oil Raceway last week?
It's a possibility, but I dare say that the biggest success is going to be a one-stop strategy here tonight. You know, it's too difficult to get onto and off of pit road here, and you're going to lose so much. You're going to hemorrhage time trying to get back off of pit road, and then trying to get back up to speed and back into the racing groove, depending on how heavy traffic is around you. You're not going to want to go down pit road unless you absolutely have to.
Wayne Stokes looking for a move on Derek Griffith in the 12. And one thing I am noticing, we're used to seeing the brake rotors glowing around here, and we're on board with Wayne Stokes right now, showing you the brake rotors glowing. Not seeing a lot of brake rotors glowing on the front per se. If you take a look back here on the side, it's the rear brake rotors that we're really seeing get the glow here tonight.
They absolutely are. Because this track is so tight in the corners, you really need to dial in the rear brake bias to get this car to start to rotate. You almost have to treat it like you're driving a drift car. Instead of having a handbrake to lock up the rear tires, you've got to dial that rear brake bias way up, and then also use the rear brakes to help keep the tire spin at a minimum on corner exits. So you're trail braking quite a bit here to get this car to really hook up around Thompson.
See in the back, there is the 60 of Parker Traves. His issues have been solved as he almost goes door to door with Gio Scelzi. Parker Traves has been on track. He completed 14 circulations of the Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park, as compared to everyone else who has done 43. Ty Majeski on track, 3 laps down currently. Corey Heim on track, 6 laps down. Josh Berry on track, 9 laps down as they currently sit at the back of this field. Tanner Reef still out in front now by 2 seconds over Mark Wirtz. We are nearly a third of the way through this race here at Thompson. The second half of the season has just begun, and boy, did it provide a wild moment at the start of this race. We'll take you to pit stops when we return right here on ESPN. Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight, is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
For all the wrecking.
We join you back live here at Thompson. You saw the reason for caution number 2 on the night. Josh Berry was around in the infield or on the front straightaway. And before we go and take a replay, let's take a look at the pit stops here for these guys. Came out at near the perfect time, too, because with Toni Breidinger coming into pit, Carson Quapple also came into pit. It was looking like it was going to be one of those 2 stops, split the race into thirds races.
Well, it pretty much is turning into that, whether we wanted it to or not. As we've got 51 in the books, Reef going to win the battle off pit road.
Tanner Reef wins it. Dominic Lopez comes out second. Boy, a lot of lost time in pit road there for the 55 of Mark Wirtz. Goes from second all the way down to 5th here during this pit stop cycle. And now we will take a look and see what had happened.
All that beautiful bean footage.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's what happened with Josh Berry. Coming through 3 and 4 here. Looks like he might get hooked by Majeski.
Nope.
Oh, wow.
Oh! That was just as we were going to break.
Yeah, and that was all we saw right there, was just him sitting sideways on the front straightaway. Had no idea he had gone up and over. So he's going to get into Walt Clow here on the side. Clow just upends him.
And that wasn't really Clow's fault. The 8 was pinching up on corner exit. Clow was there. I mean, the spotters not doing their job right there.
There's the 46. Here's from his view. That's another thing with these super late models, is that hood, or that nose the way it is, it acts like a scoop because it is so low to the ground and it is so flat, and it slowly works its way up into the hood of the car. That nose being the way it is certainly does affect whether or not these cars do go up and over like that.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's just the way it is, and it's one of the things we're going to see when we do go to Charlotte. Bump drafting does not work at all in these cars.
Yeah, no, it does not. And Charlotte Motor Speedway, just a couple of races away, one of our big events of the season. Concord next week, Charlotte the week after that, Bristol, the Fairgrounds. A lot of great racing to come here in the second half of this season, as there goes Tanner Reef for the race lead here on this restart. Watch Dominic Lopez, though, on the outside, looking to do what Reef did before. That's exactly what he will do.
Same thing for the 45 of Woodside as he pulls alongside Reef. Going to get the drive off of 4. Reef could have pinched him, but he didn't. Reef just looking to get in line and get back to the groove that he wants to run.
A lot of close racing at the back of this field as well. 3 wide between Corey Heim and the 50 of Trevor Huddleston. Coming off of the corner, Huddleston wins out, and you can see there the difference in the banking between those 2 cars.
You absolutely could. Where that repave is in the corners, that really starts the banking. Anything below that, you're almost flat tracking. And you kind of want to have your left sides just barely on that repave seal job, and have the right sides on the banking above that, which will give you a little bit better corner. And that's what we've been seeing tonight. That second lane is paying dividends if you can save the tire enough, especially late in a run, as, oh, baby, hang on to her.
A lot of close racing there. Derek Griffith stuck on the inside. That's for 10th. John Moore collects the 10th position. Here's Austin Herzog with Andy Allen to his inside. Allen looking to make a move on the bottom. Going into turn
definitely
3.
Does not look comfortable up there.
No, absolutely not. And I would, after getting put into the fence,
right,
during practice, you would be a little bit gun shy, but he's able to take the run coming out of that corner and make the pass stick, as Allen will now look to try to get around him one more time. Jeremy Doss behind him. Dominic Lopez currently in the lead of the races. Boy, that was the 6 and the 99 getting into it.
Moore was all sorts of sideways, and it looks like he might have a little...
Boy, if he didn't now, he didn't then. He certainly does now.
Yeah, there's definitely some suspension damage. You can see how hard he's having to saw on that wheel just to keep that car pointed straight.
Take a look. He is wiggling that wheel quite a bit. He's now down to the bottom, so I have a feeling he's coming into pit road this time.
Safe bet.
So,
yep, there he goes.
So that contact between himself and the 6 of Jake Drew, battling for 15th right now.
And then the subsequent contact that he had with the 25 of Breidinger, both those hits, that's basically the death knell for that team for tonight.
And Toni Breidinger not on the lead lap. Carson Kvapil and Toni Breidinger both came into pit during the green flag, during green, when the caution came out. So both of these drivers are currently sitting at 1 lap down. Kvapil and Breidinger, the only two on each other's on the same lap as each other, running nose to tail right now, 17th and 18th.
As Gio Scelzi making a big swing going into 3.
16 of Scelzi looking to carry the flag for the McAnally team now. Derek Kraus has had his issues. Cole Moore has just had his. Scelzi running currently in the 8th position right now, as Austin Herzog battling side by side with the 27 of John Moore.
Moore going to use that outside lane to carry the momentum, and you can see just how much more speed he can carry from center to the corner out. Being up on that second lane that's exactly what the 22 is trying to do on Trevor Heim.
Corey Heim. Corey Heim running in the 24th position, 6 laps down after earlier issues for him. Derek Griffith once again now looking for the outside line on Gio Scelzi. Scelzi looking to keep from losing another position. He'll maintain it for right now, but watch the quarter exit. Yep, there he goes.
As Gio now goes up to that lane to defend against the 27 of Moore behind him, keeping Moore in check, but there's more battling going on behind Moore.
Yep, even more. That's Andy Allen still on the outside of Corey Heim, trying to make that pass stick. I think Austin Herzog might be a little bit of the reason why that RJ Allen machine can't quite get around the 20, and Heim powers away on the inside line.
Just pushed the 20 up and was flirting with the wall. The 50 is going to have to do the same, as Moore is now back out on track in the 99, though a couple laps down. It looks like they may have reattached whatever was unattached after that wall contact.
Cole Moore running in the 19th position, 3 laps down on the same lap as Ty Majeski, Derek Kraus, Sammy Smith, and Eddie McDonald. First of the drivers that are 3 laps down, oh, by the way. Back up towards the front. Top 4 drivers are all right there with each other in a battle for the race lead. Dominic Lopez, Tanner Reef, Colby Howard, and Sean Woodside all battling with each other here for the race lead. Now, before the caution came out, Tanner Reef had about a 2-second lead over Dominic Lopez and company. Now, Lopez not able to get away in the same way that Tanner Reef was able to.
He hasn't, and they're fast approaching lap traffic, and we know that, that's going to be the death knell of whether or not you can make it through lap traffic cleanly, is whether or not you maintain that lead. And, Reef has some tricks up his sleeve that Lopez might not be expecting.
Tanner Reef, race winner this season, points leader at one point. Dominic Lopez was stone dead last in points for quite a good amount of time this season. However, has started to turn his fortunes around, really starting at round number 6 of the season at South Boston is when the fortunes of the 24 started to change. Reef still there. Colby Howard, this is as high up as he has been all season long in that 81. Sean Woodside, two-time race winner this season. Points leader as well, so mixed bag up here at the front.
It is, and they've also got Walt Clow up there with them, though Walt is not on the lead lap. Kind of surprising that he's not right now, but pit strategy, really biting him in the backside.
So on board with Colby Howard right now. Just past halfway here at Thompson. 2 cautions on the day thus far. Back off the back at Sean Woodside. You can also see the 55 of Mark Wirtz, the 92 of Wayne Stokes there as well. Blaine Roca in the 98. All right there. Not that far away, all within touching distance of each other. They may not be right on top of each other in most cases, but they are within striking distance if somebody in front of them were to make a mistake.
Very much so, and the thing is, with the caution coming out when it did, that really threw everybody into what should be now a 2-stop strategy, being as they've only got a 65% fuel fill here tonight. So instead of all 20 gallons that these cars normally take, you're talking 15-ish?
I'd say even less. I think it might actually be 50% fuel fill, so only 10 gallons be able to be delivered to these cars. Austin Herzog still laying in wait in that 11th position. Wayne Stokes trying to get enough of a run on Mark Wirtz. So what we're going to do is we're going to try it again. We're going to go to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching round number 9 action from Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park right here on ESPN for the Super Late Model AI Series. We'll be back right after this. Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Oh, they're wrecking! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the left coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Well, oh, the wrecking! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the left coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
We are just about 2/3 of the way through the night here at Thompson Speedway. There is the battle for the race lead on your screen. Dominic Lopez, Tanner Reef, Colby Howard, Sean Woodside, all within a shout at winning this race here this evening, but still expecting one more pit stop to go. It's been a wild night thus far here at Thompson, Tony.
It absolutely has, and it's...
Oh, here we come, I think.
Oh, baby.
Yep, here we come.
Yep, here we go. Money stop time.
Tanner Reef does not come in. Sean Woodside does not come in. Colby Howard and Dominic Lopez do.
As now Woodside pulls alongside of Reef on the top side, using that second lane to his advantage, as Reef looks like he's coming in and he's bringing the 55 with him.
Yep, so Mark Wirtz in as well. I want to jump on board here once we get a look. Yep, here comes Dominic Lopez out of pit road. This is the pit road exit that these guys have had to contend with tonight.
It's so easy to dip a wheel and just lose it on that exit because you're trying to accelerate the car, you're trying to turn the car, and you're trying to safely merge. Oh, don't do it.
That was Cole Moore. Everyone in pretty much except for Austin Herzog has not come down pit road just yet in this number 11. He's on the inside, peeling off now. So it looks as though, yep, here comes Howard. Herzog, pardon me.
So Herzog should get the point for leading a lap at that point. As
there's Sean
Woodside coming out.
And with the assist from the 99, at least for the moment, watch for cold tires, but with the assist from the 99, that will keep Colby Howard back in third. So Woodside jumps Howard and jumps the 9 of Tanner Reef, at least for the moment. Yep, there goes Colby Howard, warmed up tires, back up to second.
Well, it also had to do with the fact that the 45 was down on that relatively flat part of the track. Big moment coming out of turn 4 for the 55. Almost got into Stokes, checks up. Here comes Reef to the inside of the 98. Drag race down the back straightaway. And it's just like that, that second lane still paying dividends.
Positive pit stop for Wayne Stokes, at least for the moment. Now he's stuck on that inside line. Boy, Wirtz almost running right over the back of the 99. Mark Wirtz falling back now. He was in fifth position. He's now in seventh. About to lose that, it looks like, to John Moore. Now the 99, the reason why he's so slow up on that outside, he hasn't pit since lap 63. So it's been a while. He is on older tires. Everyone else around him on fresh rubber. Colby Howard +2 in the pit cycle. Sean Woodside +1. Wayne Stokes +2. Tanner Reef -4.
And Reef, that Sunrise Ford crew not living up to expectations right now, as they may have cost their driver a chance at a victory here tonight.
Anything can happen here in the last 40 laps of this event. We've already seen pretty much anything happen as Walt Clow getting into a little bit of trouble up at the front of this field, as now Colby Howard and Sean Woodside are going to split the lap car in the middle. Oh, Clow into Woodside, Woodside in the wall.
I was thinking that was about to happen, and Woodside is slowing. Oh, no.
Saw Parker Traves do this, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. Caution is out. Gio
Scelzi almost gets into him.
Stuck. And Scelzi losing all of this time and positions as well.
Oh, good grief.
And we'll go to it. And this one's pretty self-explanatory. They tried to split the lap car of Walt Clow in the middle, and just, it didn't work. Man, oh man, we'll go back to it here. Here's Woodside coming out of 4, bam, already into the wall. And then from there, broken right front suspension. He is done.
You can see that is not where that tire is actually supposed to be.
Nope.
The only thing that's holding it in place is the shock.
Take a look once again.
Damn.
Just see that they're trying to make it, and just a hip check.
Yep, and you see the heavy right side damage on the 45, and that car did not want to turn when he got to turn 1.
Nobody at the front of the field came into pit. However, the lap cars that had not pit yet have come into pit. So the running order at the moment will be Dominic Lopez, Colby Howard, Wayne Stokes, Blaine Roca, Tanner Reef, the top 5. Mark Wirtz, John Moore, Derek Griffith, Trevor Huddleston, and Jeremy Doss will round out the top 10, as now the lap cars are getting sent to the back of the line. Which means we are at 2 laps to go
green
before we go green.
So you kind of got a feel for Dominic Lopez right now, being as he's going to be stuck on that inside lane, being as there is no lane choice rule in this series. That's going to give the advantage to both Howard and Roca when we go back to green, being as they're going to be in that second lane, which has been showing to be the preferred line through 1 and 2 especially.
Then he had a 2.5 second lead when that caution came out, and he was unable to get away from the group that was chasing him during the green flag run. But you're right, with what we've seen on the restart from the inside line, the initial start is great, but coming out of turn 2, you're dead in the water.
You absolutely are. By the time you get to the exit of 2, you're a sitting duck, and you're probably going to get blown by down the back chute, as we are about to see it in live time.
Sean Woodside still in the pits. He is the only one in the pits repairing damage. A great start for Dominic Lopez. I think that one's better than any restart we've seen from anyone on that inside line, and it will show, because he is going to stay in the race lead. We're sitting here saying, poor old me, Dominic Lopez, but he proved us wrong.
Well, the man that's definitely getting a hard time of it right now is Wayne Stokes. He's already hemorrhaged 4 spots just from the restart, as here comes Reef and Moore trying to make something happen.
These restarts have been good grief. as it's been a lot of close racing through these quarters. Jake Drew sent up wide. Jake Drew sent up into the wall.
We might be, yes,
Yep.
we are going to go back under caution as Cloud bins it.
Yep, Walt Clow in the fence as well. And Jake Drew does keep it going. However, the caution has already flown. There goes Clow into the box. And now Dominic Lopez is going to be forced to try to do it again.
Well, he did it once, as we are going to be 30 to go this next time by. Still a lot of racing left here tonight, and still a lot of racing left this coming week. As, you know, Frank, we've got double headers just about every night and a quadruple header on Tuesday.
Absolutely a lot to go through here on the network tonight. Coming up tomorrow will be a doubleheader. Will be one of those doubleheaders that Tony was alluding to. The ISNF Cup Series will run their first race of the new season. This will be an exhibition race at the LA Coliseum, and then following that, 3 hours later, will be Sunday Night NASCAR from the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. CleanRacing.net, the CleanRacing.net Truck Series will run round number 3 of their season from New Hampshire as well. That will run on Monday night, and then 4 races on Thursday night. The Night Shift Racing League will start the day just before noon. We will be crowning a champion for the Night Shift Racing League at Charlotte Motor Speedway coming up at 11:50 a.m. Eastern Time. Only 1 point in it between first and second going into the championship race. The AARL Cup Series will run their season opener at Daytona as they return at 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time. The confusion between the Rick Motec Truck Series, we thought they were Rick Motec Cup Series, pardon me. We thought they were going to start last week. They are in fact starting this week. They will be at Daytona as well, an 8:40 p.m. Eastern Time start. And then we'll start the day at Charlotte. We will end the day at Charlotte. Round number 3 for the Western States Racing League, a 10:05 p.m. Eastern Time start for those guys at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
And while you were talking about that, Moore got one of his laps back.
Yep.
So that puts him only 1 marker out of the lead lap, and still plenty of time for us to possibly see another caution. But I dare say everybody has already done their money stop, so good luck.
There are the 2 that are currently sitting as the only cars 1 lap down. Toni Breidinger in the 25 and Cole Moore in the 99. Carson Kvapil was 1 lap down, but through these cautions has gotten the lap back. He is now running in the 14th position right now. Everyone from 15th on back, 1 or more laps down.
And we're going to see if the 24 can get the same type of restart that he got the last time by and just left the 81 sleeping. So the advantage now is going to actually go to the 55 as here we go, back to green. And here comes the 81.
Yeah, that one did not look as good a start. Colby Howard on the outside line. He'll get the run. He'll get the slingshot. Colby Howard to the race lead. Dominic Lopez second. Look at Mark Wirtz now looking on the outside for third.
He got pinched up into the wall, had to check up as the 98 almost put him into the concrete.
And with
Stokes
that, though,
working with Reef right now as those guys are hot and heavy back there.
And with that, though, Blaine Roca moves up into the 3rd position. Wayne Stokes on the inside of that 55. Look at Tanner Reef, stuck out in the wall. Big contact between Reef and Griffith. Both guys keep it going, at least for the moment. Where is Tanner Reef? He's rolling.
He is rolling, as is the 12 of Griffith.
Oh, upside down in the back.
Down.
Cole Moore.
Oh.
Caution out.
And he had just gotten into a possible free pass position.
Oh, watch out. And that was, I could tell in the back of the picture that it was going to be close because there were a lot of cars
Yes, there were.
very
I think
close
they were
to each other.
Yeah, they were 3 and almost 4 wide.
Yep, here they come. Oh, they were 4
4
wide.
wide.
Wow. Oh, and it's off the 19, his teammate.
With a teammate like that, you don't need a proctologist.
There you go. From onboard Kraus. I mean, there's not really much Kraus could do here. They're 3 wide under him.
Yeah, no, that was all on Moore. He just pinched up, and the spotter's not doing their job as far as letting these guys know, hey, your teammate's up there. And it looks like Kraus is bringing it pit side as well.
There it is. I mean, Kraus just trying to stay out of the way. He's up in the marbles. That might more be on the 8.
Yeah, it was.
99. He was the last one in there, and he was the one that really sent him up and over.
He was the one that pinched him up into Kraus, so yeah, that definitely should be charged to the 8, unfortunately. And with all of that melee, Toni Breidinger is now back on the lead lap.
Yes, she is getting the lap back. And now Colby Howard will have to defend on this restart.
He is at that, and we do know that there is absolutely zero love lost between the 98 and the 55, so expect fireworks on this restart as, they almost got into each other on the last restart. I would expect continued fireworks this time by.
Derek Kraus has gone to the pits as well in the 19. Sean Woodside is still in pit road from his earlier incident. Kraus in the pits. Cole Moore obviously in the pits as well. No retirements thus far, and this has been a war of attrition here tonight. We've known that this was going to be a very difficult race for these guys to get through, and after going through the first 6 races of the season without a caution, had 3 at Langley, 3 last week at Lucas Oil, and now 5 here tonight at Thompson.
Yeah, they keep this up, they're going to wear that yellow flag out before the season's over.
I think we were so clean at the beginning of the season. I can't
Yeah,
wait.
I know.
Can't wait to see what happens at Concord next week.
I'm going to put the over-under at 9.
It's going to be a crazy one. At the
Very
little
much
triangle of Concord Speedway, and then we'll go to Charlotte. The week after that, Bristol, Nashville. A lot of great races coming up here in the second half of the season. A stacked second half of the season as Colby Howard gets a good jump. Not going to be good enough, I don't think, as Dominic Moore jumps to the outside. Moore looking for his lead back.
Moore going to get the run off of 2 side by side. He's bringing the 55 of Wirtz with him as the 81 is still caught down there. Wirtz going to power around the outside, gets pinched up as here comes Moore in the 27.
John Moore has had such a good run here tonight. Best run of the season by far, up at the top 5 as it's the 17 of Eddie Mcdonald sideways. There's the 11 of Austin Herzog hitting the wall on the inside. Caution will come out again.
Yeah.
This has been one heck of a night. I'm getting scared when these guys are coming off at turn 4 because that's where we saw most of the issues in practice. And at the beginning part of this race, it's now flipped to turn 2.
Well, what's that old adage? Cautions breed cautions.
Yeah, absolutely. No green-white checkers in this series from what I can remember.
Eddie Mcdonald was almost up and over.
Yeah, he was up on his side. Try to get a good look at what happened here. Eddie McDonald, it's a lap early.
And that's fine because now we can see the setup to this.
There's Ty Majeski's there in the 91.
Corey Heim right there as well.
Gets a good run, and Herzog didn't.
Oh.
And then Herzog goes spinning off the nose of the 29 of Maynard.
Yep.
This is from Herzog's perspective. It was the same situation effectively as Kraus.
Yeah, it was, only Kraus didn't tag the inside concrete.
That's a hard hit, too, for him. That's one of the... I don't think we've seen a car wreck like that this season thus far.
Well, we haven't, but it's kind of what Thompson does. You know, you get into the marbles on... You try to get into that outside lane. You go a little too high, a little too hard going into the turn. You get into the marbles, and then the car just does not want to turn at all. And that's really what the 11 was fighting, so he didn't get the run off the corner that everyone was expecting them to get, and kind of stacked him up behind him. And, you know, unfortunately, Mcdonald goes almost up and over, and he does get yeeted down into the infield.
I was anticipating a long night here at Thompson because I thought it was going to be 175 laps. Could you imagine if we had to do another 25 more laps of this?
Pay me.
As far as restarts, these restarts have been crazy. Once we get past the first couple laps, we're all good.
Yeah, but we got to get the first 3 laps under our belt to get these guys single filed out, as we are going to restart with 9 to go, as we are 10 to go currently, and the field's starting to double up behind the Porsche pace car.
As I had mentioned, the anticipation is there are no green-white checkers. Not had this come up yet this season, but it's looking like it might tonight. Dominic Lopez will look to get the start that he had quite a while ago. Colby Howard, very happy he's sitting on the outside line right now. And I'm sure so is Blaine Roca. Pace car is off. Green flag is coming back out. Boy, waited to go that time. A good start it looked like for Dominic Lopez. Colby Howard, can he get to the outside going into 1? Yes, he can.
Yes, he can. Drag race down the back straightaway. Howard on the top side, as definitely using that outside lane to his advantage. You see that the 24 has to downshift to get that car to really turn, as here comes Roca on the top side as well. But he is going to get pinched out, as here comes Wayne Stokes on the inside, battle for third.
Yep, Stokes looking for that third position. He will get it, at least for the moment. This will be his best finish of the season as well, if he can complete it in that number 92. Here comes the 55, looking for a hole through the middle.
Give Stokes a shove to get him down the back straightaway. Stokes up into third. Roca now is in danger of dropping out of the top 5, as there are some really strong cars coming. Gio Selzy and Tanner Reef being 2 of them.
John Moore, again, looking for his best finish of the season. Up at the front, though, 6 laps to go. That is the difference between the race lead and second position. Colby Howard out in front, looking for his first win of the season after a poor first half. Dominic Lopez looking for the same.
As they are fast approaching the very wounded lap car there. That is the 51, as he now goes pit side to get the hell out of the way. Good on you, sir. As battle for the lead still hot and heavy. Stokes could play a factor in this as well, as he is starting to reel those 2 guys back in.
We have had 6 different winners this season, 2 of which are in the top 10, 1 of which in the top 5. No one in the top 3 has won a race yet this season.
We are going to change that here tonight at Thompson, as they come out of the 3-4 complex one more time. Popsicle sticks in the air, 2 to go.
Dominic Lopez looking to try to put on one last challenge. Wayne Stokes hoping he goes a little bit over the line. on that one last challenge. Colby Howard, again, after running towards the back of the field a majority of the first half of this season, is starting to find his stride. Lopez is going to have one more chance to try to clip that number 81 for a race win. He's too far back. Colby Howard comes through turns 3 and 4 to kick off half number 2 of the season with his first win of the year.
Howard coming across as, what a finish we just saw.
What a night here at
Absolutely.
Thompson.
I think we just set a league record for most cautions in one night.
6 on the evening. And
I
everyone...
think we went the first 6 races without one
at all.
Colby Howard, definitely one of the cars to contend with tonight here. Got the pit strategy right, got the restarts when he needed them, and comes home with his first victory of the season, making South Carolina very happy as the fireworks explode to celebrate his win.
What a shot that is, huh?
Beautiful.
Colby Howard, your race winner here tonight under the lights from Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park in Thompson, Connecticut. Boy, oh boy, Tony. And to go back to what you were saying, I don't mean to harp on it continuously, but again, no cautions through the first 6 races and nothing that could have even been considered caution worthy over the first 6 races of the season. Now, again, we're getting into the second half of the season. The intensity is starting to ramp up a little bit. Now we've had 12 cautions in the last 3 races, and Concord is the next race.
Yeah, Concord, for those of you who've never been there, you're in for a treat next week because arguably one of the most difficult, and I'm using this term loosely, paved ovals in iRacing. It's classified as a paved oval, but it's anything but an oval. It's basically if you took Pocono, put it in the dryer, and shrunk the damn thing to just over a half mile.
Yeah, it is. It's going to and put some pretty decent banking on it as well, all the way around the racetrack. But that is next week. It is going to be a wild night, I'm sure, at Concord. A race that I am very, very much looking forward to. We'll go to the results here for tonight's race. Colby Howard takes his first win in that Anthony Campy number 81 machine. Dominic Lopez and Wayne Stokes, all 3 of those drivers coming away with their best finishes of the season here to kick off the second half of the season. Dominic Lopez, Mark Wirtz, Blaine Roca rounding out the top 5. John Moore, also his best finish of the season. Gio Selzy, Tanner Reif, Derek Griffith, and Austin Maynard, your top 10. Austin Herzog, Jeremy Doss, Toni Breidinger, Trevor Huddleston, and Carson Quapple rounding out not just your top 15, but the drivers to finish on the lead lap.
I'm Majeski, bringing the Cunningham Roush Fenway Racing. Number 91, home in 16th, first car 1 or more laps down. Corey Heim for Venturini, coming home in 17th. Jake Drew, not the night he was hoping for, coming home in 18th. Eddie McDonald in 19th. Andy Allen rounding out the top 20. Sammy Smith, Walt Clow, Sean Woodside, Josh Berry, and Cole Moore all having nights they just as soon forget. Same goes for Derek Kraus and Parker Traves, as that is the tail end of the field, normally up towards the front.
Yeah, absolutely a crazy event here tonight at Thompson. For the coming up here on ESPN, once again, the ISNF Cup Series will come your way tomorrow. It is an exhibition race from the LA Coliseum. They will have this week, the duels at Daytona next week, and then the season opener, the first official points race of the season, coming up the week after that. But again, it all kicks off at the LA Coliseum tomorrow afternoon, 5:20 p.m. Eastern Time. Sunday Night NASCAR will come your way 3 hours later from the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. On Monday, Cleed Racing, the CleedRacing.net Truck Series will also go to New Hampshire, 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time start for them as well. Then on Tuesday, it will be a 4-race day. On Tuesday, the Night Shift Racing League will crown a champion just 10 minutes prior to noon on Tuesday at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Championship race, 1 point in it between first and second, and I believe only 3 points in it between first, second, and third in the point standings. It is going to be a crazy, crazy race at the Charlotte Motor Speedway on Tuesday morning. Then on Tuesday night, the AARL Cup Series, the All-American Racing League, that's what it is. The All-American Racing League Cup Series will begin their season again. Again, they'll be in the Cup cars this year at Daytona, an 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time start. Also, the Rick Motec Cup Series, they're moving from the trucks to the Cup cars. They will be at 8:40 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, and then we will start where we finish. We'll finish where we start, I should say, at the Western States Racing League from Charlotte, a 10:05 p.m. Eastern Time start. So for my broadcast partner, Tony Trapasso, I am Frank Marchese. Thank you very much for making us a part of your evening. We will see you all next week from Concord as we head back down south here for the Super Late Model AI Series here on ESPN. Good night, everybody.